Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. Okay, I am Intuitive Mom Alexis, and I am going to talk to you guys today about past life. Let me make sure this is like wiped off. Okay, let's make sure it's like really clean. There we go. Okay, it's like giving a light, like the ancestors, heaven is like opening up for girl. Like, come on, come through with the message. Okay, I was I was trying to do this live like a few weeks ago. It's so crazy. When was I trying to do this live? I don't even remember. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I was trying to do this live, right? But I was having some ascension symptoms. Like I was going through it. I could not move. I could not get up. I could not. I just couldn't. So, hey guys, welcome back to intuitive talks. All right. So, how to identify, acknowledge, heal past life karma. Okay, we are talking about Saturn, karmic debt. This is season 8, episode 4. All right. So, yeah, guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm like 10 minutes late. Okay. Listen, as long as I'm here. So, anywho, I have some tea. I am drinking my Geek 2 Cola. It's like a brain booster tea. Okay. I also have my tissue because y'all know they keep it cold up in this house. And the incense that I am burning, I'm actually burning Lord Shiva incense. I believe that, let me see, because I don't want to be mistaken on this. Why am I burning Lord Shiva incense? Saturn. Okay, that's why. I found these incense. I'm saying I found them. I bought these incense, and these are the incense that I am burning for Shiva. And I have sprayed my Arteru fiery protection. This is not the original off of the well, it is the original. I mixed it in. I had to spruce it up a little bit, to my witchery. Okay, for my home, I had to do it up some. Let me not do that, okay? Because I don't want it. I have no makeup on except my eyebrows and a little lip gloss. But I ain't put no makeup on because I felt my nose getting ready to tingle. I have my sage burning for my ancestors. Let me light it good, actually. You know what? I'm going to burn the eucalyptus. Okay, since your girl. Eucalyptus is really good for respiratory. So I am going to talk about how to recognize past life, not past life karma, but like current life karma. Okay, in your chart, also past life karma, right? How to recognize it, and what do you do to kind of relieve it. Let me go grab one thing. Girl, why you ain't never ready? I thought about that and I was like, let me go get one thing. Okay, y'all. I'm back. I said one thing, I grabbed three. Okay. So, Malabees. These are going to be very important when talking about karma. Okay, how to kind of alleviate karma. This is 108 beads. I made these myself and prayed over them, and I chant over them. But I made this set myself. I had some that were made out of wood, a certain wood. I can't think of the name of the wood right now. I'm gonna put these on. I can't think of the wood right now. Don't fault me. Okay. There's a certain wood that you should use when chanting certain mantras. Okay. I want to say sandalwood, but palm wood. Okay. Rosewood, palm wood, sandalwood, ebony, nagoki. Yeah, so those are some woods that you know, like when you are buying Malabees that you should be using. So I use stones. Each one of these stones are for a different reason. I'm not going to go over what the reasons is because it's very sacred to me. And I just don't need bitches, trying to interrupt the prayers and shit. So, and then I have sapphire in between each one. Okay? Real sapphire too. So I made these personally myself for my mantras, okay? So we are going to talk about how to recognize karma in your astrology chart. This the people may think that these are not the transits for karma, but I'm talking about my life, and I know that I was born with no karmic deck, right? No karmic deck. But I have karmic lessons that I have to learn. Major karmic lessons that I have to learn, right? And people would, so the first house that you should look at is 10th house, Capricorn energy, Saturn energy. That is the first house of karma, okay? People who are Capricorn suns, Capricorn risings, Capricorn north nodes, Capricorn Capricorn Saturns, those people that have strong Capricorn placements, one of their biggest lessons is fucking karma, like knowing what type of karma you are operating in, right? I have Neptune in Capricorn. Okay, Neptune, that is the only fucking earth sign that I have in my chart too, right? I'm gonna try not to cuss as much this video as well too. I'm gonna try not to. Okay, I've come to find out that my spirit team and also YouTube doesn't like when I curse. I'm finding that out, so I'm gonna try not to curse. Okay, let me drink more tea. Yeah. Okay, because I'm a fucking saver. Oops. Anywho. So I have Neptune in Capricorn. Capricorn rules my second house, which is the house of money. Okay? The house of money. That house is originally ruled by Taurus, right? So let me run through these, and I'm not going to break down into details real quick. I'm not going to do it, but I'm just about to run through the transits, okay? Grab your pens and your pieces of paper and take notes, because this is actually very important. And I think that this might be the last lesson that I give on Saturn is karma. Okay? How to recognize it and get through it. And I'm going to keep talking about Saturn because Saturn is actually a really important transit this year. Next year, actually for like the next 10 years is very important. The type of moves you out here making is Capricorns. I would say Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgos are the most calculated. They're earth signs. They are the most calculated moving transits. Like, they want to know what the moves are before the moves. Like, so where are we going and what store are we going and who all is going to be there? Because do I like them? Do they like me? You get what I'm saying? Okay, if they don't like me, like, what are we wearing? Are we about to be matchy matchy? Who got the brands on? What is, like, this is how these earth signs are showing up, okay? So they need to know, like, what is going on. And the next 10 years is very important for you to recognize where you have these signs at, okay? I know everybody's talking about okay, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it because I don't care what everybody else talking about. I'm talking about what I'm talking about because for the last 2 years, unknowing to me, in 2011 on the timer, in 2022, maybe 2019, but I'm going to say 2022 for sure, I brought the year in and I said, y'all need to recognize where y'all have Saturn at in y'all charts, and y'all need to recognize where y'all have Chiron at, okay? Those are going to be very important for you to heal. And I would really get into your North Node, right? Because it's time for us to elevate. It's time for us to stop playing in this past life energy. I know that I was a fucking ruler in my past life, but what the fuck that's got to do with now? Like, how do I show the fuck up now? You get what I'm saying? So, this energy has been busting motherfuckers over the head. And they like, why is this happening to me? Well, it's happening to you and it's going to continue to happen to you because Saturn, and when I'm saying Saturn, when I say Saturn, I'm talking Capricorn and I'm talking Aquarius, right? When I'm talking those planets, it's like, hey, let's get this shit right this time, okay? Let's get it right and let's do it for everybody. You know, like, let's do it for not just myself. But anyway, so let me run through. I want to push this back a little bit. So when I'm doing my hand motions, because I talk with my hands, I can be seen, okay? So first house is ruled by Aries, Mars. Second house is Taurus, Venus. Third house is Gemini, Mercury. Fourth house is Cancer, Moon. Fifth house is Leo, the Sun. Sixth house is Virgo, Mercury. Seventh is Libra, Venus. Eighth, Scorpio, Mars, and Pluto. Okay, Mars and Pluto, whatever. Okay, Mars is the ancient ruler, and I'm going to always relate Scorpio kind of back to Mars because it gives that underwater fire death energy. Okay, bitch. All right, it doesn't give cold Pluto. Anyway, where was I at? Eighth house, Scorpio, Mars. Ninth house is Sagittarius and it's Jupiter. Okay, 10th house is Capricorn, Saturn. 11th house is Aquarius. So it also does Uranus really exist, right? It's so rebellious. So 11th house is also Saturn, but it's, you know, Western ruler is Uranus. 12th house is Pisces, which ancient ruler is Jupiter, but Pisces is what? Pluto, I think. I don't know, maybe Neptune. I don't know. But I would say that it's Jupiter still for only because of that spiritual enlightenment. That's where you get that 12th house shit at, okay? So now we're gonna talk about how you can recognize karma in your chart, which houses you should be looking at, right? So when you out here and you trying to figure out if you are a karmic this lifetime, if you are the one that is actually destroying your own relationship within yourself and with the other people that's around you. Let's run through these transits, right? let's say you have Saturn in the first house, right? First house, Aries house, right? You have Saturn in there. And you have, and I'm only giving examples, right? I'm only giving examples. So I'll start with myself and I'll use myself as a first example on how I recognize karma in my own chart. I have Saturn in my first house, right? And I also have Sagittarius in my first house. So Sagittarius is how I show up. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm abundant. I'm this, I'm that, right? Abundance can be an abundant of a whole lot of shit, okay? Abundance, the word abundance. It could be you have an abundant of joy, abundant of love, abundant of luck, right? I am all of those things. But when I'm a problem, I'm also very abundant in me having a fucking problem. Okay? I'm abundant in cussing you the fuck out. Alright? I also have so my first house is ruled by Scorpio. Alright? So I have Scorpio. Now I am a sun Sagittarius, but Sagittarius kind of cuts into, so there's a shared energy. It's more dominant in my second house with Capricorn, right? My second house is shared with Sagittarius and Capricorn. My first house is shared with Scorpio and Sagittarius, right? My 12th house is all fucking Scorpio. So how did I recognize the karma within myself, right? I looked at my Saturn placement. My Saturn, it sits at a very high degree in Sagittarius. Yeah, I have Saturn in Sagittarius, right? So I'm like, okay, how does this work, right? How does this work? So let me give y'all some of the energy around Saturn. I said this in a couple of my other videos, but I'll give y'all some of the energy around Saturn, and then I'll give you some energy around Sagittarius. So Saturn, it's karma, trade, time, fame, ability, dignity, power, rank, your rank in life, okay? Professionalism, business, career, jobs, politics, okay? Action, discipline, my mother-in-law, all right? Anger, ruling, power, my outer public life, okay? The body parts that Saturn rules is teeth, bones, and knees, okay? Of course your knee, because your knee is like a fucking bone, right? It's straight a bone, right? So now some of the things around Sagittarius is religion, devotion, ancestors. Weirdly, oh, Saturn is also father, right? Saturn energy is father energy, but Sagittarius also is father energy as well too. And I'll kind of I'm not gonna touch on that too much, but I am gonna tell y'all how Saturn showed up in my life. Okay, God, grandson, child, past life, higher education, luck, dharma, philosophy of life, travel, okay, and higher learning. Saturn, Sagittarius body part is the thighs and the hips, okay? This is a fire sign, right? And Capricorn, which rules the 10th house, is a earth sign. So it's all about grounding that fire energy for me, okay? By me having it in the first house. I also have some other transits that's in the first house. I'm not going to break down my whole chart, but I have 5 transits in Scorpio in my big 5, okay? Besides Mars, okay? Mars is not there. I have those in the first house, right? In between first and second house, I have those, all right? So when it came down to me, like, okay, well, let me see what my karma is this life. I got obsessed with my past life. So the first thing that I want to say is, being a Sagittarius, right? I grew up at a distance from my family. I have Sagittarius in the first house. I am literally 4 places if I'm going forward. If I want to move forward, I'm 4 places away from the house that this energy actually belongs in. So it's actually very uncomfortable in the first house. Sagittarius. It's like, oh, I got to do everything to expand all those aspects: my religion, my devotion, my ancestors, my father, God, my relationship with God, even my grandchildren, my past life, my higher education, my luck, my philosophy, and traveling. I'm going to travel far. I travel close, but I'm gonna travel far. I might even live at a distance, which is true. I live at a distance from where I was naturally born. I have always had a distance from my father. I think it was one time in my life I really didn't even, I was like, I don't like this nigga. All he do is show up and give me money. That's it. Like, I was very, when it comes to being abundant, I was very rich on my father. You know, because of my father, I was very rich. But I'm like, that's not what I want. I want love. So, okay. So this is how you can look at it. All right. Now let me tell y'all a little something. I always was like, I don't need to study my ancestors. And this was before I was enlightened, right? A few years before I started tapping into ATR religions, okay? African tradition religions, okay? Before I started tapping into them when I was a Christian, and I wouldn't even never say I was a Christian. Yeah, okay, all right. I was about to say, I would never say I was a Christian. Yes, I can, because I was baptized and everything, right? And it was one point where I was like very active in the church. It's so crazy. My husband was listening to church, real church music this morning, and I was like, damn, I remember I was in a choir, right? Okay, we was very active. My mother was like a usher or something at the church, so very active in church. And there was a point when I was in my grown life and I started going on my spiritual journey, my sacred journey, that I was like, nobody ever told me I needed to tap into my ancestors first. That was not told to me. I came straight into it, hearing, being clairaudient. I've been very open to hearing and feeling energy around me, that, you know, a lot of deities would reach out to me. A lot of spirits would reach out to me, right? And I want to say this too, because I want to repeat this. Spirits lie. Spirits will trick you. You have trickster spirits out here. I'm not going to get into that, okay? I'm not going to get into that. So it's very important that you tap in with your ancestors, because some of y'all ancestors be lying. Some of y'all ancestors be lying. They be playing. Because they wanna have a relationship with you, and they know that you're not gonna have a relationship with them. So anyway, let me make sure this sage is burning. Let me make sure this sage is burning. I was gonna burn the eucalyptus, but it ain't burning. It ain't burning. Look at that. When I say like it, that just went like firecrackers and stuff. We gonna have that. Let me open this up, because they put new smoke detectors in this shit. Let me open the window. The other day I was recording a video and the smoke detector went off. It was loud too. That shit scared me. And I already have paranoid activity going on right here, because, okay, so look, let me tell y'all about these ancestors. Okay. So I was like, and this is me telling you how I recognize karma, right? So I was born with no karmic debt, but we all take a contract. I have karmic lessons that I have to recognize. So, let me tell her I'm live. So, that's my sister. She said the whole eraser. She played too much. Yeah, that's what some people need. They need the whole eraser to erase their karma. But you know, anywho, I play. Okay, so listen. So I was not one to be in touch with my ancestors for real, right? And let me tell you how God did this to me. Okay, actually, I'm not even gonna blame God. Let me tell you how I took this contract, because I took this contract to have, you know, Saturn in the first house with Sagittarius, with Mercury, with you know, it's some other motherfucking shit too, right? A lot of like, damn, this shit hard, right? It's hard. It's hard. I'm gonna live a long ass life, and I'm gonna have so many lessons when it comes to spiritual work, when it comes to tapping in, okay, higher knowledge, sorcery, my ancestors. I'm gonna be bust over my motherfucking head, right? And I already got bust over my head because it's so hard for me to say it right now because all right, let's say it. So I wasn't one to like tap in with my ancestors, right? I had an ancestor altar, and I had another altar that was next to my ancestor altar. And my ancestor altar used to be right here. It's not here anymore. Okay, it used to be right up under here. I'm actually gonna put it back, all right? But my ancestor altar used to be right here. And I would on a daily, not on a daily, but very often I would feed my ancestors. I would light candles for my ancestors. I put my ancestor pictures up. I have the things that I have said that you need on your ancestor in there. But and one of my spirit guides, that when I first started this journey, the very first one of my spirit guides that came to me was an ancestor that I have never been in touch with. His name is Ben. Okay, if you guys look back in some of my videos, I talk to Ben and we have a conversation, right? And I'm saying we have a conversation like I channel him. Ben is my uncle that I have never met. He's a Virgo, all right? I can't tell you when his actual, you know, earthly birthday was because nobody in my family will really tell me. My aunts and all of them and his wife. My mother told his wife not to talk to me. Okay, that's what my mother did. She told his wife not to talk to me. That if I contacted her, you know, just to ignore me or whatever the case is. My mama is out cold. She out cold. But anywho, that's why she is in the 5th house. Okay, with my Mars. She is in the 5th house with my other Saturn placement, which is in Aquarius. Okay? Yeah. So, this is me looking at my birth chart. So, I'm going to tell y'all about that 5th house energy too, and how my mother, where you would look at your moon sign, that's your mother, how you would look at your moon sign, and you would see the karma on your maternal side. Right now, I am talking about Saturn. So I'm talking about my father energy. That's that masculine energy that's in me, right? That's and this is that first part, okay? Because there's 2 placements that I would say for sure is Saturn and Chiron. Okay? And then the 3rd place I will follow it up is your moon sign. And then the 4th one is your Mars sign. The way that you actively fight for things. Okay. So anyway, so I'm glad that number dropped on who was watching this, because now I can say what I can say, and I just don't. I would rather people like not watch me, come back and watch the video later. So anywho, so you know what? Let me take that back. I would rather people learn something. So, my son right? My son passed away in July 2023, right? He passed away. And I have said this a few times on my channel. I have said this in my videos and everything, right? There's a few reasons why he passed away. All right. Do I want to talk about that? Okay. I don't think I want to talk about that right now. Okay, so there's a few reasons on like how he passed away, why he passed away, right? But the first reason is so that I could actively remember to tap in. What I say? Okay, let me get that. Let me get that off. Okay. When I say I got the window open so big, it's no reason for the smoke detector to be going off, okay? It's really no reason for it to be going off. I got the window open too big, so big, or whatever the case is, whatever. But I just take that as a sign, okay? So, Sagittarius being in the first house with Saturn, right? My son being in the first house with Saturn reminds me to tap in with my ancestors, okay? So I would, if I was you guys, I would look at my chart and I would say, okay, what is my sun sign? All right. So if you have a sun in, your sun sign is in Gemini, right? You have a sun sign, it's in Gemini. This is what you're supposed to be, you know, this is communication. This is your younger brothers, your siblings, you're talking, you're learning, all that good stuff, right? But let's say you got Gemini and Saturn. Gemini and Saturn. Listen, what if you had a Gemini and a Saturn? These are parts of your chart that you are supposed to be looking at. So you can look at it in your karma in your third house, right? It would be the way that you communicate this lifetime. All right. Sixth house, it would be in your health, right? Because that's Virgo. Virgo is all about being healthy. So let's say you have Saturn in the sixth house. It's all about being healthy. This lifetime, you might be very sick. What you're supposed to be doing is changing up your motherfucking diet. Last life, you was out here eating all the pork. You was eating all the swine. You probably was doing drugs too. Okay, let's say you have Saturn in the 12th house or the 8th house, 12th or the 8th house. Those two, they overindulge in shit. They the ones out here that's doing drugs. I'm not saying that Scorpio and Pisces have very addictive personalities. They could be somebody that is addicted to you could be somebody that's addicted to sex, or you could get with somebody that's addicted to sex. These are things that you have to like look at. Let's say that you have Saturn in the 11th house. You probably were very selfish in your past life, okay? That's why you have Saturn in the 11th house. You're supposed to be a humanitarian. You're supposed to be giving back to your community, all right? Let's say you have Saturn in the 5th house, right? You need to take care of your children. You got to take care of your children. You have to put your children first. You also need to be a little bit more creative. You could be wanting to be an artist or something, and you like going to school for law. You don't want to do that shit. And you like, well, nobody ever makes any money being an artist. Yes, they fucking do. Yes, this motherfucker artist, whoever painted this picture, this is a real canvas. Whoever painted this goddamn picture right here, they have some that you can get printed, right? And then they have some where it's actual art. This picture right here costs a couple $1,000s. We got some other pictures in here too that cost a couple $1,000. And I'm just like, these is black artists. Like, I like the way they draw. We have somebody that drew our family. portrait. Okay? These people make money. A couple $1,000s a month, like that's good. You don't have to live above your you don't have to live above your means. And that's where Saturn energy be hitting motherfuckers over the head, right? So, and now I go back to did I skip anybody? Okay, Cancer. If you have Saturn in the fourth house, you have to control your emotions. You also, okay, fourth house is mother energy as well too. You need to treat your mother better. All right, and then if you have one of those mothers, because it could not always be you. It could be that you born into a family where your mother treats you horrible, right? Let's say you have Libra in the fourth, Libra in the fourth house, right? You got Libra in the fourth house, and then you also have motherfucking Saturn. So you got your moon in the fourth house, and you have Saturn in the fourth house, right? Those two aspects is, this might be your karma to have a bad fucking mother and do something different. You understand what I'm saying? I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. So you have to look at your transits, and you got to make it make sense with the energy of that house. All right? So that's how you first recognize it. Now, Chiron. Okay, Chiron is it's not a planet. It is a asteroid or something like that. I don't know. But Chiron is our wounded healer. Go to fucking Google and say, what is my Chiron? Okay? Because if you just pull up your transits on like Cafe Astrology or on Far Far Away, you're not gonna get your Chiron. So Chiron is spelled Chiron. Okay? Chiron. Go to Google and you say, what is my Chiron, right? So you look at Chiron and you say, okay, so I'm going to give y'all a couple of the, because Chiron is one of those planets that you know what? I'm not about to do that. So let's say you have Gemini and Chiron, right? Where your communication is thrown the fuck off. That's me. I got Gemini and Chiron, right? I got Gemini and Chiron. And in my past life, I was very outspoken. Nobody ever talked to me. Nobody talked to me with disrespect. I was very well respected. And a lot of my past lives, I was very well respected, right? So, and I was actually more, I was the mean one. I would say certain things. I would, nobody's going to even really address me a certain type of way, but I would be saying certain things and I would be hurting motherfuckers' feelings and not caring. Okay? If you said something crazy to me, off with your head or whatever. Okay? So in this lifetime, it has been very hard, not hard, but it's been very tough for me to speak up about a lot of things. I let people, and this has been, I'm telling you, in my 20s, and it's almost giving like gullible girl. Like, I used to talk to some men, and like some of the things that if they was to say that to me now, like, you wouldn't hear from me from a long time. I just have a lot more control over my boundaries, right? And that's having a Gemini and Chiron. Now, let's say you got the Gemini in Taurus, right? You have a Gemini in Taurus. I mean, not Gemini in Taurus. You have a Chiron in Taurus, right? That's that money house. That's that wealth house. That one of your karmic lessons in having a Chiron in Taurus is not overspending, not giving a fuck about a brand, not, material wealth. You could also have bad eyesight. Okay? You can have bad eyesight. You could so I'll give y'all some of the like if you have Gemini, if you have Chiron in Aries, you can have like self what do you call that? I don't know what to call it. You could be very insecure about the way that you look. It is getting very smoky in here. I'm just going to put that out. Okay, like that. So if you have Chiron and Aries, you could be very insecure about how you look. That's because, like, in your past life, you were somebody who worship looks, okay? Like in one of your, and these are most recent past life. You can also look at your South Node as well too. I'll come back to that. Taurus, what you value, your money values, okay? If you have a Chiron in Taurus, your money values would play a major part in this lifetime, right? So I would be, not me, because I don't have Taurus in there. I will be a person like in the past life, like you maybe died with a lot of money. You probably died with a lot of money or whatnot, and then you came back and you like, I gotta work all these jobs or whatever the case is, okay? And these are things that you can heal. These are real things that you can heal. Gemini and Chiron, like your talking skills is off. But one thing I want to say about like Gemini too, they can have Geminis, if you heal this past life karma for Gemini and Chiron, you'll be a great writer. Those motherfuckers writing the book. Fourth house. So fourth house is like around family and fourth house. So if you have Chiron and Cancer, you could be having like heart disease, chest problems, asthma, like just real respiratory problems, okay? Fifth house, Chiron, those people would face a lot of ego problems. You know, they'll be over egotistic or whatever the case is. Then you have like Chiron, and this is Saturn too. Chiron and Saturn in these energies, okay? Virgo, disease, health problems, a lot of coughing, maybe, you know, issues with your weight fluctuating or whatever the case is. So I would look at my Saturn energy if I had it, you know, if I was having problems with my weight and I was a Virgo, I would really start doing a lot of Saturn work, okay? Because that's a problem. I know it is, okay? Seventh house, problem with committing, being in a relationship, people cheating on you. So if you have like Libra and Saturn or Chiron, like you would have an issue with people like cheating on you and shit, right? Or you could be a major cheater. Marriages failing. If you have issues with your marriage failing, look at your Saturn, look at that Libra energy, look at that seventh house, okay? Scorpio, diseases, like, you know, if you have a sexual disease or you're one that's prone to sexual diseases, you're having like bad yeast infections, or, you know, even addictions, or you have a problem with people taking and using you for money. So you can have Saturn in Scorpio, or you can have a Chiron in Scorpio, okay? Sagittarius, if you have a issue with connecting with your ancestors, if you have an issue with connecting with your ancestors, you know, education, dropping out of school, picking up new subjects, starting new subjects, or whatever the case is, like that. There's something always wrong with your car. Okay, that's for Cancer and for Sagittarius, okay? If you have Saturn, always something wrong with your car, you probably got that shit in Saturn, a Saturn Sagittarius or Chiron Sagittarius, okay? Capricorn, Saturn, and Chiron. This is, you have a problem with your career, okay? Career. It's also very egotistic, and then your mother-in-law will be a major problem in your relationships, okay? That person will be very over opinionated in your shit, okay? And then also you can have problems with your bones, your teeth, your skin, your knees. If you have Aquarius, You can have problem with like the left side of your body. So like your left ear, your left hands, like you can get arthritis in your hands, in your legs. You may also have problems with your older brother if you have Saturn in the 11th house or in Chiron. You would also have a problem with like kind of communicating with and I'm saying a problem, but these are things that you need to work on. Like being social with people, like you would lose friends a lot. You could also have issues like in your calves and your nervous system as well too, right? And there will be a slow movement to gains. Like you'll get a win eventually if you work on this energy that's there. But this is something that it will be slow moving, right? Okay. You will also be very rebellious there. So Pisces, all right. So Saturn and Pisces or Chiron and Pisces, you can have a cracked toenail. Okay, you can have a scar on your feet. You could also have like diabetes real bad in your feet as well too. Like you can have issues sleeping. You would have bad debt as well. You could also be somebody that is very spiritually inclined, but like kind of ignores it. Okay, and then you would also have issues with hearing on the left side. Okay, so all right, now how do you alleviate these dashas, this shit, right? How do you alleviate it? The first thing is you have to acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge it, okay? For me, I had to acknowledge my ancestors. And the way that I acknowledge my ancestors, it was like you can never stop. This shit sound crazy, but you can never stop acknowledging. Being a Sagittarius Saturn, I could never stop acknowledging my ancestors. God is going to, not God, I'm using that term, but spirit divine, because it could be, however God shows up in your life. I'm saying God because I think it's big dog God, right? A big dog God. And I can never get off of that, okay? I can never get off of that. So, and there's different religions out here, ATR rituals and stuff that, there's no one God, okay? They don't address them by God. They say something else, okay? I don't want to be ignorant to that. All right? Not a demon, not a devil, nothing like that, okay? But just like y'all know I love Cali. I'm never going to stop loving Cali, okay? Never gonna stop loving Cali. Never gonna stop being devoted. But I'm also gonna be devoted to, where I was born this lifetime. Okay? So I could never stop acknowledging my ancestors. And spirit made sure that the contract that me and my ancestors took, I can't stop. The reason why I can't stop is because if I stop acknowledging my ancestors, then I'm gonna stop acknowledging my own deceased child. I could be like, I don't fuck with my daddy. Okay, because my father, we didn't have a good relationship when he was on. We had a okay, decent, like towards the end of his life, we had an okay, decent relationship, right? And I just find it so coincidental. Okay, there's a lot with him spiritually. I might talk about that right now. So I could stop acknowledging him. You get what I'm saying? Because we might not work together in this aspect, like with him being in the spirit and me being him being in a different realm, and then me being here on the earth path. We might not work together right now. He could be working with my sister, which he is. He could be working with my sister. He could be working with somebody else. Anytime that I ever channel my father too, he never shows up for me in channeling. Like he never comes to me and like talks to me for me or giving me advice. It's just not what I get. Saturn is your teeth, right? So I studied teeth because I've had toothaches before, and I'm like, why the fuck am I having? What is this spiritual toothache? Like, I don't know why when something hurts in my body, I really be like, I'm a spiritual being. Like, so what is this spiritually? Why is my nose stopped up spiritually? They like, you need to clear your throat chakra. You need to talk more and, you know, stop breathing out of your mouth. Breathe out of your nose. You need to drink more herbal tea. You need to be more enlightened. I'm like, oh. Anywho, you need to do that oregano oil more. Oh. So yes, y'all need oregano oil. So my father, I could stop. But me being a mother, right? Me having my moon sign in my 5th house, right? In Leo, where change happens. In that 5th house. 5th house is where change happens. Okay? That is death to the ego house. Death to the ego. Studying. Saints. Brain. It's like, it's love. It's educational skills. It's ego. All that shit. Thoughts. Everything. Like, subconscious and unconscious thoughts. That's where the change is happening. Are you really thinking what you're saying? You get what I'm saying? That was in my 5th house. I knew that I was going to be a much better mother and show up for my children when I had children, when I started learning my transits, okay? And I started looking at that moon sign, and I'm like, damn, this 4 placements. There we go again with the number 4, okay? Number 4 is very dominant for me in my chart. Even my karmic, one of my karmic numbers is 4. Okay, one of my motherfucking karmic lesson numbers is 4. Like, bitch, damn. So I'm 4 houses with my father, where he is and where he's supposed to be, and then I'm 4 houses with my mother, away from where she's supposed to be. So I'm always looking, and 4 in numerology is work. So I'm always going to be doing work when it comes to my father, my mother, my moon, my Saturn. I'm doing this work. So, excuse me. So, what was I about to say? So the reason why I am actively doing this work, and I know that, you know, I was, like I said, I was born with no karmic debt, but I do have karmic lessons, okay, to ask for help, and the ones that I'm asking for help is spirit, okay? I'm asking spirit for help. I'm asking people that are actively in my life by speaking and, you know, having Mercury and Capricorn, I mean, not Mercury and Capricorn, but having Saturn in the 1st house with Mercury, Saturn in the 1st house with my sun sign, my rising sign, what comes out of me, how I show up. I am always going to be in partnership. That is something so hard for Capricorns, okay? Capricorns and Aquariuses, for them to be in partnership. If they're not in that 10th house, if you don't have Capricorn in that 10th house, if you don't have Saturn, Aquarius in that 11th house, you like, damn, I'm out here doing it, grinding by my motherfucking self. Like, I'm doing more work than every fucking body that's on the team. You're going to feel like that. Me having it in my 1st house, I had to recognize that I'm going to do more work than everybody on the team. And that's been big for me, because nobody around me show up spiritually like I do. Nobody shows up spiritually like I do. I be like, damn, I wish this person was my spiritual. I wish I had a prayer warrior. You know, like somebody that's going to pray hard. Like, hey, we going to do these mantras at this time on Saturday. We about to do these Saturn mantras. We about to be, you know, we about to eliminate. We spend lifetimes together. We about to come together and we about to kill this motherfucking karmic debt. I don't trust too many people in this world to show up at that time that I said let's show up. I don't think so. Okay? But I have to like just trust it. I have to keep having faith, keep trusting it. Because at the end of the day, my son, which is my ancestor, okay, which is my close ancestor, my closest ancestor, my son is in the spirit realm now, and he has built relationships with a lot of people that I want to have spiritual relationships with. He built a relationship with them, and before he left this earth, he be like, "That's your family." I be like, "That's your family." Now I understand that this is our family. Okay, this is our family. Even if I don't want them to be family, I'm like, they gonna be family. So and he, you know, he also had conversations with me about my ancestor, about our ancestor table in our home. He would say, "Is this for everybody? Like, who all is you putting up there? Who going up there? Who getting the food?" So if I don't continue to do the work, who's going to feed my child? You get what I'm saying? Who's going to take care of him? If nobody else in his family is doing it, who's going to do that? So I got to do it. Okay? So I got to alleviate this. Look at that. The sun of baskets. I have to eliminate this karma that I was born in this life with. So this is why I say, you know, you go to Google and be like, what do I have any karmic debt, right? What is my karmic lesson? There's a chart that I shared in the Connect with Your Ancestors. I'm going to put the link in the description. There is a video where I use a chart, and in order to find your karmic debt number, you would use your birthday, okay? So your karmic debt number, you will use your birthday, the month, the day, the year, okay? And there are 4 karmic debt numbers, 13, 14, 16, and 19. So those numbers all break down to 4, 5, 7, and 1, right? 4, 5, 7, and 1. So if your life path happen to be 1, 4, 5, 7, there's a chance that the double digit number from your life path is veered as a karmic debt number, and that's what it's associated with, right? Karmic lessons derive using your full birth name found by the missing numbers. So 1 through 9, okay? And I shared the chart already. I'm not, you know what? Yes, I am. Let me go get the book so y'all can take a screenshot. Like, so y'all can take a screenshot. Okay, just in case y'all want to be a little lazy and not go to Google. Oh, you know what? Let me go get my numerology book, because that's a better book. Not a better book, but a different book. Okay, this is the book. It's called Numerology and You. If you want to learn the stock market, you want to know when you're going to hit the lottery, how to hit the lottery, this is it. Okay? There's 2 different systems. One is called Chaldean, the Chaldean approach. And then the other one is called something else. 24. Oh, here we go. Pythagorean. Okay. Pythagorean. Okay, it's the modern numerology. So those are like 1 through, they total up a single number of 8. I guess. Anywho, 9. 9. Okay. So, there you go right there. All right. So, that's 1 through 9. And this is more Western astrology, right? Chaldean is 1 through 8, and that's like Vedic astrology. It's Egyptian as well too. Kemetic. And this is the Chaldean 1 through 8. Alright, that shit probably gonna look backwards, but take a screenshot and, figure it out. So, you can find your karmic lesson number with your full name, and you find your karmic debt number with your birthday, your karmic debt number. So 7lifepath.com. 7th. SEVENTLIFEPATH.com. Okay? That's the quick calculator. And they use the Western, the one that's in this book. Listen, I be in Vedic astrology, but I just be like, let me make it make sense, okay? So I kind of mix it all. I was born in the West for a reason. Okay? They put me over here. I spent a lot of my other lifetimes in Korea and Japan and England and motherfucking Africa and Haiti. Shit. In the South, in the North, in the West, in Canada, like the UK, okay? I think I even had a life. I don't know if I had a life in Australia, and I don't know if I ever had one, because this is actually my last life too. That's why I was born with no karmic debt. Ain't that a motherfucker? So if you look these up and it shows that you have no karmic debt, you might be one of those people that's on their last life, okay? Because you're supposed to alleviate some of the shit that you're doing this life, all right? Now, I'm about to give y'all one more thing. This is me and mine and how I feel that people should create routines, okay? People should create routines. Like I said, man, people should create routines. Let me go to this other app that I have. Oh, it's a Venus day. No, it's a Venus hour. It's a Mercury day. Huh. Bitches talking. This ain't... Anywho, what's today? Wednesday. It's Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Okay. I was born on a Wednesday. Alright? So, on Wednesday, I tend to talk more than I talk any other day. Not only because I was born on a Wednesday, but because this is my day. Okay? Mercury. Alright? That's that Gemini Chiron. I find myself going live more on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesdays, Saturdays. For some reason. I'm not sure why. Saturday, I do know why. Because Saturday is Saturn's day. Okay? So, whew. Let's get into the ritual. All right? I'm going to have to watch this live back. The rituals. 6404. I might watch this live back. I don't know. So, you should come up with a routine. So let's say, for instance, that Saturn is Saturday. Okay? Saturn's day is Saturn. So you should do mantras. We have to incorporate mantras into our life, because mantras teach you discipline That's why we do mantras. I never learned discipline until I started doing mantras. Like, my soul feels so disciplined. All right. And what the devil wanted me to do was, listen, what the devil wanted me to do, and the devil is Capricorn energy, right? I'm not talking about, the devil is not some motherfucker that fell from, the sky and that's out here trying to bop you over the head and shit. Those might be demons, right? The devil is a desire to be free, to, love life and freedom. Complete freedom and unconditional love is something that I live by. All right. So, what the devil wanted me to do was not be, oh, let me not pull that. That's a string. What they wanted me to do was not be disciplined. Because if I'm not disciplined, then I'm not doing this work. I'm out here chaotic as fuck. I'm out here Tasmanian devil. So that means that people around me is getting hurt. I'm getting messages. I'm not sharing the messages. I'm not, helping people alleviate their karmas. I'm not helping them elevate in life. When that's what Sagittarius energy is all about, elevation. Okay? One thing I learned too, having Saturn in the first house, is that time does not fucking exist. It doesn't. It doesn't. have an abundant of time. I'm gonna be on this planet for a long ass time. So Saturn could come in and teach me a lesson, like big dog father that it is. Bitch, you either gonna do this work now, or I'm gonna sit you the fuck down and you gonna do this work later. Which one you want? Which one you want? So I'll be like, damn, let me just go ahead. Let me do this shit now so I don't have to do it later. I could just be an old lady and be good, Like, be good with my family, with my ancestors, with my spirit team. Like, just be good. Like, I want to sleep good at night. I don't want these ghosts. I don't want these devils. We don't want no devils in the house tonight. I understood that song so hard. You know what? I'm going to set this shit on fire. And okay, there we go. There we go. Boop. So, I had to come up with a routine, right? I had to come up with a routine. I had to have rituals that are right for me. And this life, it's a lot of pressure to get initiated into some of these religions, into some of these pathways. It's a lot of pressure to do that so that you can have some type of status, so you can say that you are this, you are that, or whatever the case is. But I realized, like, with doing this work, I was initiated in all my other lifetimes. Every lifetime that I ever lived, I've always been initiated. I've always been a part of something big, right? And I didn't need to do that this life. I need to tell people about certain things, certain religions, certain rituals, certain cultures, certain messages from spirit. And that's the thing. Like, I'm so tapped in with my spirit team, and even getting more tapped in with them, right? They're going to be sharing a lot more messages. I'm going to be sharing a lot more messages. And they're going to be it's going to be all over the place. I know it because my son is very curious. My son is very curious. And I set the bar high when he was here on being curious. I always allow my children to ask me questions. So the questions, and I would ask them questions, and I still have questions. So by him being here, being my ancestor, he like, I'm about to go over here for a minute and see what that is. I'm going to be back, and I'm about to tell you. So when I'm like, hey, what's going on? I know he's going to come back with the information because we have that type of relationship, okay? I have that. I'm very close with my children. I'm very, very close with my children. And I talk to my kids about, death and experiences and ancestors and stuff like that. I talk to them about that. So by my son transitioning and being one of my spirit guides and an ancestor, and, he's gonna come in contact with people that come on my page too. Y'all might see him in the dreams. Y'all might have contact with him. He's here to give answers. He said he wanted a job before he left this earth. And I was like, you gonna have a big ass job. You gonna have a good ass job. And then boom, he died at 16. So him coming to me the other day, and I was like, people are going to think that I'm crazy. He was like, "Ma, people already think you crazy." When he said that, listen, this shit is so wild because when he told me that, right, I was in a crying state. So I have Dowser rods. Everybody knows I have Dowser rods, okay? If you don't, you know now. I have Dowser rods, right? But I have not picked up my Dowser rods in a few months. I haven't brought my Dowser rods right there too. I haven't brought my Dowser rods out because when I pick them up, I can hear clearer. And I'm a grieving mother. I am really fucking grieving. And nobody's gonna take that shit away from me. Some days I am grieving. Boy, I'm questioning big dog God. Like, you got me. How dare you, right? And then I be shrinking in my seat because he be like, cuz, that's what you signed. You said you wanted to take this contract. I'm like, I did not. He like, yes, you did. Go in your Akashic records. Yes, the fuck you did. You said this is what you're going to do. You're going to be this person. And I was like, I did not. I didn't. I did not agree for me to have 3 sons and outlive any of them. They like, yes, you did. And even your son that came here, that's your motherfucking twin flame, he said he was gonna do this with you. Y'all agreed on this in y'all past life. I was like, nah. When y'all was stars, I was like, nah. And so I thought I was tripping. The day that I was originally supposed to do this video, I was having, my head was, it wasn't even my head. It was like the back of my head. It was my pineal glands, right? I could feel it like almost exploding in my head. When I say I took so much fucking over-the-counter medicine, right? I could not go to sleep still. I took Mucinex. I took like some nighttime Mucinex, some Aleve. I knew that, listen, I'm a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio too. So a bitch was in here self-medicating. Like, do I got the flu? And I even went to the Mexican place a couple whiles ago, right? I went to and let me not say Mexican. No, they fucking Mexican in there. I went to the damn Mexican place and I got some over-the-counter medicine it's strong, okay? It's strong. It can kill anything in your body. It can kill you if you take too much of it. The lady, I don't know what the lady said in Spanish, but she was like, basically, she was like, I had my neighbor translate for me. She was like, you understand? I was like, uh-huh. And my neighbor was like, she said, don't take more than one in a 48-hour time, right? I was like, okay. When I say I took like 3 of them bitches because my body was aching, I could feel the energy coming up from my spine. Like, I almost felt like, I knew I wasn't dying, right? Because I think I'm going to live to be 107 years old. I knew I wasn't dying. But I was like, Spirit, whatever this is, like, don't make it go away. But damn, can you like, chill on the symptoms or whatever the case is? I was having a dark night of the soul ascension symptoms, right? After the symptoms passed, I started having downloads. Like, I started seeing, I was at this table. Okay, I was at this table and I was recording. I was doing the Scorpio reading, and I heard what my son said to me. He started coming in and he started saying stuff while I was shuffling the cards, and I was like, oh, this too close to personal. Let me hurry up in my head. And I said it out loud too in the reading. Towards the end of the reading, I was like, oh, this too close to personal. Let me hurry up and close this motherfucker reading up, okay? So I always kept my children like basically separate from doing my readings. Even my other ancestors, except Ben, my uncles, my spirit guide, because I never had a earthly relationship with him, so it's okay. It's easier for me to get messages from him. But my son coming in, giving me like messages and saying things and making little funny jokes and telling me like, you know, about the people that's gonna be interacting on my channel and what messages I have for them. I'm like, that shit crazy. Okay? Like, he has a lot of advice, and he has a lot of advice. He's a Taurus, okay? He's a Taurus, Aries, Virgo. He has a lot of advice, like health advice, a lot of career advice, especially when it comes to like the stock market. And I don't know shit about the stock market for real. But here I am, I bought this motherfucking numerology book and I gave it to my husband. I'm like, hey, I think you're supposed to be doing something with the stock market. His ass was like, okay, bet, cool. He in a motherfucking another stock market class, and he like, hey, I'm really learning this shit now. So this is what I'm saying. Like, he's going to come in contact with people who actually want to do this spiritual work, that is open to the communication. He's gonna come in contact. He's gonna come in y'all dreams. He gonna be sending y'all little signals. Y'all gonna come to me and y'all gonna say to me like, hey, I think I seen your son in my dream. And I am okay with that. I'm okay with that. I think that my child had an interaction with your child. I am okay with that. I think that, you know, whatever. It's not, I think. I know that he is. I know that he is going to be helping a lot of people. That's what he do. That's what he did. He helped me. So when it comes to, you know, who I'm supposed to be sharing this with, I'm supposed to share my child. And I never wanted to share none of my children. Bitch, please. I would share their picture. I don't even want to share with their motherfucking daddies for real, right? You know? But this is my lesson. Shit crazy. It's my lesson. So, yeah. So, in these last couple, this shit is crazy. The world is crazy. In these last couple weeks, I have been having a lot of spiritual contact. Not just with my son, because even today, before I decided to go live, I was talking about oh, it's 1:11 too. I was talking about it came to me today. And let me get this chapstick. Honey, I'm live. A train? Okay. Yeah. They choo-chooing like a mug. Look, choo-chooing. I'm such a kid. That's Papa Leg by. Like, oh, okay. Okay, I'm live. Bye, babe. Okay. All right. Okay. Listen. All right. So, it's very important, back to what I was saying. It's very important that you create a ritual, one that fits you. You get what I'm saying? It's very important that you create one that fits you and that fits like your life, right? Some of y'all may not have grew up in church. Some of y'all may have not grew up like in a strict background, but your planets will give you more of a Neptune will give you more of a spiritual aspect. I would say Neptune, ninth house. So wherever you have Sagittarius, wherever you have Pisces, wherever you have Neptune, Jupiter, okay, Jupiter will give you more of a spiritual outlook. So I have Neptune in Capricorn, right? Like I told you, I have Neptune in Capricorn, which is going into that second house energy, right, with Sagittarius. So it's like you're going to do this work, and you're going to be very strict about it, and you're going to be very devoted about it, okay? That shit is wild. Like, that's my only earth placement that I haven't mastered in another life, because Taurus is in my 6th and 7th house, but I have no placements there. Virgo, I think, is like in my 10th house. Yeah, Virgo is in my 10th house, but I don't have any planetary placements there either. So I'm going to be grounded in this energy, right? And doing spiritual work grounds me. That gets back into that Capricorn energy, being very self-imposed. There's no limitations to what I will do when it comes to spiritual work. I know that a lot of people talk down on black magic, but I'm very defensive when it comes to my family. Capricorns is the ones that will they gonna defend their motherfucking family, okay? However they see fit, all right? And I don't want to even talk crazy on here because it's YouTube, so they might make my algorithm way worse than what it is, okay? Way worse than what it is. So I don't even want to talk about the shit that I know that a Capricorn would do. I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Capricorns, and they're all fucking violent. All right, but they're very quiet and sweet and nice, and they take care of their family. I cannot say I don't know not one Capricorn that don't stand up for their fucking family. Like, you not about to fuck with my family, no matter how bad that family is, either. No matter how bad that family is, they be doing some crazy shit to them too. They be doing some crazy shit. Might not even have a relationship with their motherfucking father, okay? Being a Capricorn, you have to have a good placement for that chart, or you'll be very rebellious against your father, or your father be like, you a ground ass child. Because Capricorns are never children. They're never children. They came out being grown as fuck. Like, I gotta take care of my family, okay? I'm gonna gotta get a business. Anywho, so I have it in the second house. So I've always been like, I have to have a religion. And that's something that you will know if the religion is right for you, because there's no hell. There's no hell. The only hell it is when you are spiritually tapping into some shit that you're not supposed to be tapping into. Okay? That's how I know it's time for me to get the fuck on from something. I'll be like, oh yeah, this shit feels very hot. This shit feels very hot. This feels like I'm getting ready to sacrifice a person and not a fucking animal. Okay? This shit feels very, and Peter, don't get me. I don't even eat meat. Listen, this shit feels very hot. Now I'll be like, it's time to go. I have had to learn that, because it don't be for me. Okay? It be something that I need to learn, and it be something that I need to share, and then I gotta go. I gotta get on somewhere. Okay? I gotta stay grounded in that spiritual work. Okay? So if you have Neptune and you want to do work around the elements of your chart, right? So if you have Neptune in an earth sign, you would want to be doing more grounding work. You would be a root worker. You get what I'm saying? You would be somebody who needs to tap in with the herbs, that needs to tap in with I will also say like fire energy as well too. Okay, Neptune is very let me get Neptune energy real quick. Okay. So it says Neptune is cold and distant. It's a cold and distant world. It is intensely cold all the time. Okay. It can get up to negative 364 degrees. It's not colder than Uranus though. So, look, they said life. I had to look. I be having to get off of that. I be like, does life exist on these other planets? Yes, it does. Okay, we don't know. We need to mind our own earthly business. Okay. So it is a gas giant, though. So Neptune reveals your intimate connection to spirituality, mysticism, creativity, and divinity. All right, it's about imagination, fantasy, and the breakdown of barriers and dissolving boundaries. All right, so absolutely the way that you connect with spirit is by looking into your Neptune. So all right, so that's the first place, right? And then I would see like what my sun sign is. Okay, so I am a so I have Neptune in Capricorn, which is like earth energy, right? But it's earth energy sitting in the second house, which is fire, right? And fire being that Sagittarius energy, so I have Sagittarius and earth in there. So I would do a lot of candle work and with herbs, okay? Really big on that. I have my other aspect is like, Scorpio. Scorpio dominates a lot of my transits. I have like 5, 6 places in water, right? So, because I have Pisces in there as well. I don't think I have any Cancers. I've mastered that, but I have Pisces as well too. So, I when it comes to like water, if I'm feeling very emotional or like in my feelings or whatever the case, look like in my feelings like a feminine, the divine feminine, or I want to tap in with divine feminine, I would get in a body of water. I would go to the river, putting my feet in the sand and then put my feet in the water so that I'm getting that earth energy and I'm still getting that water energy. You get what I'm saying? So these are just like some things that you can do. The air element, I tap in with Saturn by burning incense. Okay, this is the Saturn of the Aquarius that's in me. Okay, that fifth house with Mars energy. Like I'm burning incense. I'm burning herbs. Like y'all heard me just say I was burning eucalyptus. Look at this big ass eucalyptus stick that I have. Okay. And my sage, this my sage. Okay? Like these are just things that you can do to add to your routine to make sure that you giving it the element. I got my sprays. I made this. This is infused with some herbs. Okay, it smells so good too. Okay, put that protection. You want to make sure that you drain it real good so you don't mess up your spray bottles. Okay, I've been through so many spray bottles before I learned. I'm telling y'all so y'all can learn. So let me give y'all a mantra. You know what? I'm gonna keep it real, real simple. I won't get into like, you can look up mantras for your planets, right? You look up Saturn mantras, and you can do that on Saturday, right? You could look up, let's say that you were born, you was born on a Wednesday. You can look up a Wednesday mantra. You get what I'm saying? Wednesday is Mercury day, so you look up a Mercury mantra. Monday is the moon day, so you look up a moon mantra. Sunday is the sun, so you look up, you can do a sun mantra. Tuesday is Thursday is Jupiter. You can look up a Jupiter mantra. Tuesday is Mars. You can do Mars mantra. Friday is Venus. You can do Venus mantra. You get what I'm saying? So you can look up mantras for those particular days, and it will relieve some of that Saturn's energy. Okay, Saturn. But you do want to do a Saturday mantra. Saturday is one of those days where you should be doing multiple mantras. Okay, even if you don't do none during the week, Saturn always needs attention. You always got time for Saturday, okay? As much as y'all be like, dang, I ain't go to work today, it's best to do your mantras before the sun come up. But there's no rules. There's no rules. There's no rules. And Tantra, that's why I love Tantra. There's no rules. There's no rules. Just do that shit. You get what I'm saying? Create the routine. If you say you're gonna show up, I'm gonna do this every day at 2 o'clock. Now, if you cannot dedicate this every day at 2 o'clock, don't do it. Don't do it. You know how, like, in some other religions, and I won't speak on like the actual religion, but in some other religions, at 3 o'clock they supposed to be praying. They are taking their break at 3 o'clock, and they telling their job like, "Hey, I gotta go pray. It's 3 o'clock." Like, stand on your shit. They can't fire you for that. Discrimination for race. I mean, for religion, or whatever the case is. So the mantra I'm going to give you guys before I get out of here is all right? So you want to start at the first bead of your mala, and you're just going to say and you know let me not do it too many times because I've been said the whole thing for y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all, like, if you don't have a let's say you don't have mala beads or whatever the case is, it should take you about 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes to get through not even that long. But if you chant for like 8 minutes, right, just do it. Like, just chant until you can get mala beads. But just, you know, take 8 minutes of your day and give it to, you know, divine. If you really want to be special, do 10 minutes, okay? Because you should be able to do this over 10,000 times in your life, all right? And you can eliminate thousands of years of karma, past life and your future, okay? Past life and your future. I like to, once I get down to my last 3 beads, I like to make sure the is going into the chest. So it's like and I could feel it like coming all the way down to my stomach. It's like that. I could see that energy. I envision that energy going from my crown chakra all the way down to my root chakra. Okay? And the root is Capricorn energy, your first chakra. Okay? So I can just envision the security, the stability, and just being there. Like, it's going all the way down to the base of my spine, right? And then the next bead, I'm taking it back up. I'm taking that energy back up to my crown chakra. So it's like an exchange of energy. But I'm always going to end at the base of my spine at that first chakra, okay, which is your root chakra. So the first one, I'm envisioning going down to the root chakra. And then the second one is coming up to my crown. And then the third one, I'm grounding it. I'm always grounding it. It's going right back down, okay? And then at the end of my ritual, I like to end it in fats. Like, that's it. P-H-A-T. Okay? Fats. Or either Saha. Okay? All right, y'all. That is it. That is it. I was going to pull cards, but I'm actually going to make that a separate video. And I will upload it. Because I don't want to be live for that. I might go live on Instagram. So anyway. So that is your talk. Okay. I love that. We finally got this out. Okay. How to recognize. Let me see. What was the thing? What was the thing? Okay, Intuitive Talks, episode 8, 4. They're going to number 4, episode 4. How to identify, acknowledge, and heal past life karma. Saturn Karmic deck. Okay, I will put the link in the description for the website that I was talking about. I'll leave that link in the description. And then what else did I say? I said I was going to put timestamps, but I'm probably not. Okay, I've been on here an hour and a half and some change. So, I might go through and watch this video again for myself and maybe leave timestamps if I feel like it. I'm not sure. But, I hope you guys learned something, and y'all, I appreciate y'all checking me out. So, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and hit the notification bell. Okay? Love you guys. See you later.